Oh no. No. Please. Please let this just be a bad dream. It isn't, is it? Alright, let's get started. This video begins with Junior eating his new favorite cereal, Doofios. However, this brings up a continuity issue. If Junior didn't know about Doofios, let alone own them, until Bowser Jr. goes to Disney World, and yet the first grade series takes place day by day, what's going on? Maybe Junior had a couple days off. Or maybe something far worse. Maybe a time paradox! Oh no. No. Alright. I'm back. Luckily I had this nifty watch-like gadget with me. Now, where was I? Oh yes. Junior is eating his Doofios and watching another funny Doofy segment when the news comes on saying that someone, who is obviously David Winkle, broke out of prison. Junior disregards it and goes to school. Junior sees a sign that the students have to go to a different room, and so he goes to the other room. After Junior and company talk for a while, Mr. Winkle comes in pretending to be Jackie Chu. Also, where did Mr. Winkle get Jackie Chu's clothes from? Did he steal them from Jackie Chu, or were they just on sale? Who knows? Some of the students think it's actually Jackie Chu, but most everyone recognizes Mr. Winkle. David Winkle, not knowing what to do, sees the globe and asks students to point out hot places on the globe. A bit of pointlessness later, Junior goes back to his seat after trying to point out hot places on the globe, which he's too stupid to find, and David Winkle announces the project that the kids have to do for today. They have to make a hot planet. He also says that they have to split into groups of 3. After a bit of pointless bickering about who will be in Junior's group, Joseph and Junior decide to make the sun. Cody points out the sun isn't a planet, but rather a star, and we get, I kid you not, 2 minutes of them arguing over the simple fact of whether the sun is a planet or not. That's it. That may not seem like much, but when you watch it, it feels like an eternity. I felt like I sat there for 7 minutes listening to them, but no, it was only 2. While Junior and Joseph are making their planet, Toad and Patrick finish their planet made of cheese and onions. Okay then. Joseph and Junior finish their drawing, and if there's one thing I can give this video credit for outside the Doofy segment, it has to be this drawing. This drawing is hilariously awesome. Junior and Joseph argue with Cody some more, and they go to show Mr. Winkle their drawing. Mr. Winkle says it's good, but that he needs to check the rest of the drawings before judging the winner. Junior and Joseph are upset about this, so they decide to go set the paper on fire so that they're guaranteed to win. I would say their logic doesn't make sense here, but it kinda does. They go back and show Mr. Winkle, and Mr. Winkle is shocked that they set the paper on fire. The fire alarm goes off, and everyone huddles into the corner as a callback to the summer school series. The Brooklyn, insert profession here, tells them to get out of the corner, and they all head outside. While outside, the Brooklyn guy asks if he's seen Mr. Winkle before, and Mr. Winkle tries to hide his identity. The Brooklyn guy switches to being a cop, which was funny, and arrests Mr. Winkle. Everyone goes home early, and at home, Junior hears a knock at the door, and doesn't see anybody the first time. After a second round of knocking, however, Junior sees Principal Steinbeck. Principal Steinbeck lets himself in, saying he needs to talk to Bowser. Also, Principal Steinbeck is an amazing character, as always. Junior tells Bowser that his principal is here, and Bowser throws a fit thinking Junior failed. Bowser goes into the living room, where Principal Steinbeck is eating the Totally Not Cheerios Doofios. Principal Steinbeck explains everything, and says that Junior gets an automatic pass, but things won't be easy in 2nd grade. Oh boy. Principal Steinbeck takes the Doofios, and the video ends. Now, before I give my final grade, I wanted to mention a sort of untold rule about my reviews that, up until this point, I have not needed to mention. I don't care what happens in the background of this video. In this case, I was well aware that Logan had to get this video done in a hurry. However, as a reviewer, I don't take production backgrounds, issues, etc. into account. I look at the final product. That is it. With that out of the way, this video gets a 2 out of 5 or color orange range rating. This video had so much missed potential, but instead it was full of filler and, frankly, not much else. An excuse came at the end of the video to quickly cut off the series to make way for the next school series. But since this is the first time I've ended a series, let's talk about the series as a whole. This series was up and down. Episode 1 was decent, and 2 was pretty good. 3 was awful, making it the all-time low of the series. 4 was great, and 5 was bad. So, as a whole series, I think it gets a 3 out of 5 or color yellow range rating. Would I go and rewatch this series? Not unless I was really bored. Is this series good enough? Sure, or at least give it an initial viewing to say I watched it. But that's my review. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.